Hi, I'm Honey, and welcome to my Week 9 Surviving Mindcrack Island Retrospective. Here we go. Just gonna start off with Final 3, Final 3, Final 3, Final 3, Final 3, Final 3! Ah! 2.5 years I've been waiting to say, I'm in the top 3. Blue team, best team, I'm in the top 3. All these spoilers, darling, spoilers, darling, spoilers, darling. And I couldn't tell you guys that I made it to the final countdown, top 3. Well, not final countdown, but to the top 3. So that's just, I've been waiting so long to say that. We're just gonna get that done with. It's out of my system now, right? Okay. So much has happened. So much has happened in the last 2.5 years since we filmed this. In the time, in the over 4 years that I've been streaming, it's just so trippy to finally be able to talk about this and all the things that we did back then. And as I'm editing it to just I'm just it's great content and it's such fun and it was such an epic proportion project. So anyway, I'm just still sort of in this nostalgic glow every week as I've edited this over the last 9 weeks. And I purposed to not edit the next week until I've gotten my vlog out. I'm actually recording this the day the vlog releases on a Wednesday. And I have to edit for the Friday week 10. And I just haven't had time to get to it. And I purposely did that because I didn't want to accidentally muddle up or mix in details that you hadn't seen, that hadn't happened yet to your perspective. What did happen? Well, we had a really super duper fast King of the Ladder, and it was Ron's first time, and he just owned us, right? I actually had not played King of the Ladder. I had seen the guys doing it. I hadn't played it myself. I was just like, try to get to the top, and don't fall off. And then, bam, Ron just like, bam slap, Dark and I, and we both just went to the ground. Although I will say, Dyer and Ron had one exciting back and forth exchange. They lasted longer than Dark and I combined, right? So it was a really quick one, which gave Ron a slight advantage. I don't even remember what his advantage was, but he had a slight advantage going into the immunity challenge, and the immunity challenge was that archery thing, and I don't know what my brain was saying. I just kept shooting at the same. I don't know. I thought I would hear a click or something. I kept shooting at that one top button. I'm like, we gotta get all 3 of these. So why am I doing this? And when I finally moved to this middle and the first, bam, it opens, and it despawned. So one of the early shots that I had nailed that sucker, and it was perfect timing because Good was right there in time to laugh with, ha! Her arrow despawned and the door shut in her face, so I had to do it again. Of course, I was a little bit of a lack start or slower start just because of the death, but it wasn't too bad. And I got there and I got those 3. And I'm like, okay, well I can hit the thing if it's not moving, right? But I really, I have to say, it must have just been the fatigue. I watched it and I'm like, why were you moving so slow? Why are you just like, okay, I'm gonna shoot at this target forever. Shoot. And then try to, shoot again until you hear the dang door open, right? So it's just like, where am I going? And they're like, look to your right. And it like, to jump out, see the thing to the right, shoot as you land, it never occurred to me. And it was just like, I don't even see where we're supposed to go from here. Of course, Dark didn't either, so Good's like, look to your right as you're falling. That was a trick shot among trick shots. That was really cool. And I know that Dark he also had a time penalty, but he ended up winning it. And Dyer had lots of time to get to it, but he couldn't quite make that shot. And Ron said he never could get the timing quite on that, and I'm sure I hardly even actually shot at the right direction, right? And then once we were down there, it was over. It's like, okay, well, let me just see if I can make some high arc shots from down below for it. I'm sure it would never have hit. But Dyer actually did, which is really cool to see that in the official episode. He did actually make that shot. And he did it, I don't know, 3 or 4 shots later. So really, if Darkfan had not nailed it just when he did, Dire Dwarf would have, because he proved he could do it, he would have gotten immunity himself. So it was really interesting. I thought it was also interesting to see the official and to kind of see Ron's perspective a bit more, and how he was like, he basically voted for me with the hope that one or two of the other guys would also vote for me and be like, okay, let's just go ahead and it's time to get rid of the girl, or it's time to go ahead and move on with Honney, and let's keep going forward. I've heard a lot of stuff in the comments, or as people have sort of weighed in with me. Mostly it's been positive, which I got to admit, I know a lot of the official episode has been, not very positive towards me. And I expected that. I really did. I really, really did. But I think it's interesting, as I've had a lot of people make comments about it, and how some people felt that there was like an unspoken thing that I broke, trust that I broke when I voted for 3-2, because he had given me some of his armor. And when I voted for Desi, when he had said, I want you on the server. I honestly never felt that there was a, hey, I'm doing this for you, you're going to keep me on the server, right? And I guess maybe I should have, or other people would have. That really never crossed my mind. I never felt like there was anything. Maybe because we didn't verbalize it. Maybe it was just like, and like I said, I didn't feel like it was, Honney, let me give you stuff. It was, who doesn't have armor? I was one of the persons who said I didn't have armor. Well, here. It felt like a generous sharing move, and not necessarily a, here, I want to do this for you. When Desi said he wanted me to be on the server and that he wouldn't vote against me, I never really thought that meant you need to keep him along for the ride, or you need to, he's a vote for you. I just sort of took it as encouragement of, hey, you know what? I think you would be good on the server with the guys. And so I never really thought of any kind of alliance forming there. I could see where there would be the potential of alliance if they had then, talked or whatever, but I really didn't feel that. Another thing that I've heard a lot, mostly amongst the official channel and some from the other contestants' point of view, is that our prior relationship was too strong to break. And I guess you can say that in the sense of, hey, they knew each other beforehand. I think we were just more open about our contacts in the setting than other people were. I know for a fact that several people that were there had played 3-2's maps. I know for a fact that that Lorgon had done some stuff with some of the people, and that Dyer had done stuff with some of the people. I think it just wasn't as heavily advertised or talked about. And although Dyer and Dark and I had worked together, Dark and I had done some tournament streaming together where we were both streaming some matches, and Darkfan and I were both on the same recording group, but we were on a competition on opposite teams, so we didn't really have a lot to do with each other. It wasn't like there was some, we work together all the time, we are this close bond, we knew each other. I really think it came down to the randomness of the draw. We were on this team together. We had a tenuous, hey, we kind of bumped into each other. And, from what I understand with Survivor, hey, you were in the same state as me. We're buddies, right? Whatever. Texas represent, right? And so I have found out that it's really easy to form a connection with somebody. Hey, we're parents. Bam. We have an understanding of each other. In a setting like this, I think people want to pair off. They want to find somebody. I think humans naturally want to bond. They naturally want to connect. And that's one of the things that I think really is one of the reasons that I have had whatever success I have in streaming being my job is because I think I really am good at treating people as family. I really try to get to know everybody and to respect them and who they are, and without judgment and without any, hey, you need to prove to me anything. It's just, hi, I make a joke, I'm friends with everybody, but I really do try to be positive towards every person, and I think that is one of the things that people often tell me. I really like just being there and just having a good time with you, and you're just so optimistic. It's so much fun that we can just be positive. And I think that there's a certain community that forms, and I'm proud of my community trying to be supportive and nice and bonding with each other, getting to know each other. I encourage people to talk about, hey, you're stressed out. Hey, vent. Go ahead. Just keep it clean. And let's not get into too much politics or angriness. But, hey, you're stressed at work. Vent a little bit. I'm sorry to hear that. We're okay. So I really do believe that people naturally want to come together. They want to find bonds. They want to find friendships. They want to make clans. They want to be connected. And the fact that we happen to be lottery pulled onto the same color, onto the same side, this is sort of how it went. It was like, hey, I the three of us kind of know each other. We didn't know any of the others, although Dyer and Dark knew Rob, knew Old Man Willikers a bit. And so it was just kind of like, okay, this is who we are together. Let's cling to that and keep going. And I realize that I would have been voted off long ago if it wasn't for Dyer and Dark saying, hey, let's keep her along for the ride. Or maybe it was, hey, we can probably utilize Honey's gullibility to come along for the ride. Or maybe it was, hey, she'll vote for us, so it doesn't matter, we'll carry her. Or maybe it was, hey, you know what? I think she would be great on the server. I think I would be great in the server. Let's kind of, I think Dark would be great in the server. Or Dyer, I don't know what their mental process was. Whatever reason, whether it was a loose association that we knew each other prior, whether it was a base respect of knowing our work, like Dark and I are both parents, we're both single parents, juggling 5 kids and trying to do what we can to give them a good life, right? So I don't know if it was just like a mutual respect thing, if it was that tentative connection that we had worked in the same area or not. But I whatever reason, I was taken into that. I really feel like it was Dyer and Dark had a connection that kind of went, hey, let's start this. Let's kind of start playing the game. I feel like those two had their head in the game from the beginning. They were like, hey, we gotta meta this sucker, right? Because that's how they are. They are thinking strategies, right? And I am not the strategizer. I am not the strategizer, right? And so for whatever reason they took me along, I definitely recognize that to a large extent I was carried. I also think that I did my best to carry my weight, to help the team to do what I could for the whole tribe and all that good stuff. I still wanted to go for the horde. Anyway, there were times that I was tempted to break the little alliance and be like, maybe I shouldn't vote out 3-2. And then, my brain, or Lorgon, or whoever it was, but again, then my brain kind of has to sit back and think, okay, like I said before, analytically, these are strong competitors. We have an opportunity to remove a strong competitor. Every strong competitor, every other person, regardless, who is eliminated, is another chance for me to make it. And at some point, that's also playing the game, right? So, somehow, some way, we ended up, the three of us, Dyer, Dark, and Honney, the remnants of the remaining random blue team, come together and be here. And I think the spy games and the book and the alliances, I think that really made for a more interesting series than if we all just sort of individually went with, well, I want to vote this person or I want to vote this person. I really think that that added to the intrigue. And in the beginning, there was like no time for any of that to happen. And so it was, real brief words and stuff. But as that started, happening, as that started, just a simple push of, hey, 3-2, a forced moment alone just to say this, I think it made for a more interesting, a more authentic survivor like experience than if we had all just sort of gone, I think I'll vote you, and I'll vote you, and I'll vote you, and didn't have that sort of mentality. Now, would I have ever doing it again? Would I try to start my own conspiracy? No, no, because I know that I could not keep that straight. I'd give it away, or I wouldn't know who to pick. I wouldn't see the big game. And I honestly think Dyer and Dark, between them, definitely knew more about the competitors than I did, for sure. I knew Van's name. I didn't really know anything about what he did. I knew Ron was a map maker, but I'm not sure if somebody just had mentioned that early on, and that's how I knew. I didn't know Zoologen, but apparently Dyer did. I didn't really know anybody, and I enjoyed getting to know people. I briefly knew 3-2 because of PvP things that he was on a team, and I just think it was an incredibly interesting experience to go through it all. I loved Ron and his Hunger Games reference. It's like, can we just end it? I loved the challenges. I love that some of them were super quick and some of them were painfully long. I love and respect every single person who participated in helping to film this sucker and make it happen. I really, truly think it was the best of people that we could have worked with. And it's interesting to me to look back and see how some of them aren't in YouTube at all anymore, or streaming or any of that. How some people, are kind of where they were before. Some people are. Zoologen just blows me away how vastly he's grown with YouTube. He's just huge, and I'm still just a little old streamer, but I'm consistently making my living as an entertainer, and I am immensely happy for that. In one way, I think this is coming at a perfect time, because it's come at a point in my career where I feel like I have put in the effort and the time and the steady commitment to be more stable and to be in a place where I feel like, okay, I'm making it, even as a small streamer. I'm okay. And at the same time, I wish it happened 2 years ago, when I could have, really used when maybe it was more significant, or maybe Mindcrack was at a higher heyday and it would have really had a bigger impact. So it's just really interesting, because I really think I try not to play the what if game, and I really think that if it had come out earlier, I just would have felt a whole different way about it. And the fact that it has taken so long to come out, and the fact that I see some people who have just made it incredibly, and I see some people who have basically gotten rid of all the stuff on the channel, and they don't exist. And I'm just happy to go, hey, 2.5 years later, hi, I'm Honney, and I'm still here, and I'm still making content, and I'm still growing my fan base, and I'm still honing my craft and what I do, and I'm still learning who I am. And it's just really, it's sort of a nostalgic, comforting, such a mixed ball of emotions as I edit this and as I see it come out. It's like, you know what? I am truly content. There are things I would have done differently, like try to be awake, I have since done several 28-hour streams, and I've learned a lot about how to stay coherent and how to do those things. At the same time, it is really exhausting, and you do just kind of slow down, right? So I don't think I have anything really bad to say about the experience or about my performance or anything. As much as I really wish it had come out way back when, as much as I would have loved to change some of my performances, that I kind of look back and facepalm at myself, I also see that, yeah, that's me. Yeah, you know, it's something that I don't expect. I wouldn't have expected it any other way. It's kind of nice to see that, yep, I still say that phrase, or yep, that's a derp up. That's such a honey thing to do, you know? So anyway, I guess I sort of deviated away from this particular episode's details, but mostly it really came down to a really, really cool archery challenge and a last really painful vote um, to determine the top three, and to go, hey, my brain is just now starting to kick in with, hey, I could seriously be in this. There's only three of us. And so some of the emotion is starting to come up there too. So, anyway, we will end it there. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the series. Be sure you're watching the official, because I'm telling you, the official is cool. The official episode is great. I appreciate y'all watching mine and seeing the different points of view and seeing some of the background chatter and stuff and things. But at the same time, I'm telling you, the original and seeing that main one is really cool. So give it a lot of love. And even if you haven't watched it yet, I say binge watch it. Go for it, right? Watch the original. I think it just gives you so much more of the picture, and it's worth your time. Anyway, that's it, guys. Love you. Bye.